Hey guys, we have a special video for you guys today. We're going to tour this incredibly stately property here in our backyard in Clermont. I'm here with the listing agent and we're going to talk a little bit about the presence and the outside of the property here.
Definitely the facade of this home is what stands out the most. Like when people drive by, they always have this like home envy, like who lives in this house, right? And it's definitely something that is beautiful because one, you can see it from the road, and with a lot of the homes and development in Clermont, you don't get the acreage that this property is on. So it's definitely a one of a kind of estate. And I mean, it just stands out because of the pride and ownership of the owners. They have definitely maintained this property.
Yeah, this place, I've driven by it many times, just on my way to different showings and different appointments. And every single time I'm like, who lives there?
So that's why you called me?
Exactly.
So you wanted to find out who's in this house?
100%. We needed to know. We needed to share this information.
Okay.
So, but I used to live in South Carolina, in Charleston for a little bit.
Okay.
And just the architecture of this property has that kind of southern charm. And it's just like, it's kind of stands on its own away from everything else that you kind of see here in Florida. Can we go inside and check it out a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, just okay, so we're in the inside of the property. This is the main thing that you see as soon as we walk in. Can you tell me a little bit more about this?
Let's start with the floors. So this is real hardwood with a lot of homes. If they do like vinyl or they'll do engineered hardwood, because as we in Floridians have to deal with humidity.
Yes.
So the hardwood acts like the engineered hardwood. So the subflooring was done very well. So for example, in my house, you hear a lot of creaking when you walk around. So you won't hear any of that. Like this is a custom, very well-built home. And you have other things that, they're small details, but they stick out. Like you have the 8-inch baseboards. And then as we go higher looking up, not only do you have the spot for whatever chandelier you would have, everyone's preference is different, but you have 20-foot ceilings as soon as you walk in.
Oh, yeah.
So some homes you walk into and you can just feel like very claustrophobic right away.
No, here
So yeah, this has a very kind of like traditional vibe. So for those who are looking for that type of home, like you mentioned, you're from South Carolina. You know, this is a perfect home for them.
Oh yeah, as soon as you walk in, you just have this airiness, you feel invited. So
yes.
I love it. And it has a little bit of split floor plan too, where you have wings of the house as well, right?
That is correct. So even though it gets cold in Florida, you don't always have heat on super high or have a need for fireplaces, but for those who like not only the aesthetic appearance, this is a wood burning fireplace.
Oh yeah.
It has never been used, but for those who want to use it, you never know what will happen with a Florida winter. So if it gets down to high 40s and you feel the need to turn
freezing.
it on. Yeah, you can definitely do that. So
I love it.
This is definitely an equestrian area, and this property is zoned agriculture. So if you wanted to have domestic farm animals, including horses, you can have that here on your property. So
you have complete, I guess, control of what it is that you want to do with the property, because it's, like you said, it's 10 plus acres here, and you can have, the zoning is flexible enough that you can have goats if you want, horses, all these kinds of things. Okay, wow. So the formal dining room, you have all this wainscoting everywhere, the crown molding everywhere. It just has this very regal kind of air to it, right?
You do have storage here. I don't know about you, but I hate getting decorative items from the attic, especially in the garage.
Oh my God.
So this is more floor level. So if there's things you want storage wise, whether it's things from Costco or anything you want to keep in here, kids may do hide and go seek, so you know who to find.
100%.
Depending on which child would do certain things like that. So,
there's always one.
Yes, and then when I show you the kitchen, it's a matter of what you would use this for, because a lot of people want to put their own spin and taste on the house. So I just like to create possibilities. So
I love it. The kitchen here is kind of like a central piece of the property towards the back. You have multiple ways of accessing it. Tell me a little bit more about the way that this entire kitchen is kind of structured.
So it just makes sense for the owners. So you don't have, 7 or 8 people living here. So a lot of the storage, and if you want to call it pantry use, is these beautiful wood cherry cabinets. But what I was mentioning before in the formal dining, if someone needed, pantry space, you of course need to contact a contractor. but that can be something that can be expanded.
Yes.
You always have designers that can rearrange things and give it, again, the taste people want. This is just the perfect taste and layout for the current owner. So it's a matter of, does someone have the vision, but taking some of the traditional things that are beautiful and where a lot of home design came from.
Yeah.
And then you either keep it the same or make some tweaks. It just is really up to the new owner, what they're thinking about doing. So
100%. It's a great canvas for somebody to come in and put in their own taste, because the backsplash is great. I love the hardwood cabinetry. The stone here is kind of unique too. I love the way that it's kind of like neutral and it goes with all the color scheme of the house. No, it's very nice. Lots of natural lighting too. You could see the outside, the pool, which, by the way, let's show everybody the pool.
Yeah.
Let's go outside. Okay. Oh, wow. So this is the saltwater pool of the property.
yes.
That's amazing.
So no need for Epsom salt bath anymore. You can just do it right in your,
Oh, wow.
pretty much your backyard, if you will. So 16,000 gallons throughout the entire property. You have 17,000 square feet of pavers.
Yeah.
So definitely you have a lot of things that are going to stick out to just show how beautiful this estate is and give the wow factor, not only for you to enjoy the home, but when you have guests come over to celebrate, the new property.
And just here, just the views here are, you see your entire backyard. You have so many acres over that way. All the greenery is very well manicured.
Yep, just like the home, the landscaping is custom.
Yeah.
And this, seeing a lot of properties, in regards to space, even in this area, because, me growing up here, Clermont was like the sticks.
Yeah.
But how it's developed and the things that are coming, that's why properties like this have so much value.
Yeah.
And it's just not something that can really easily be replicated. And if you try to, with purchasing land, and then we haven't even gotten to the detached garage over there, but just this home itself, you can be pushing $2.5 to maybe $3 million, like all in cost.
Easily. Honestly, it is the perfect moment to take advantage of a situation like this.
Because when this is gone, it is gone. It'll just be a home you drive by and say, man, I should have bought the house when I had the chance.
All right, so walking into the primary bedroom here in the first floor, explain to me a little bit of what owner gets to take advantage of in this.
So it's really the size. So some homes, the primary, depending on the area, it can be a bedroom that's not adequate size, especially if you want like a California king.
Yeah.
And then if you put furniture in it, then you can feel very cramped. So you have a good size here. You can, do your best, because not everyone's taste is the same, to visualize the type of furniture you would want. But the other thing is the walk-in closet. And when we look at all the bedrooms, the thing that I like is they're all about the same size.
Yeah.
So usually when you go to the secondary bedrooms, even if they're a junior suite, it's much smaller, where it's like people who are going to stay here will have the space and privacy that they would like.
Yeah.
And then of course, any changes they want to do, some people like California closets, whatever the case is, having the space is key. You can't make any changes if there is no space. So
100%. The space here is, it reminds me of Step Brothers, so much room for activities. There is a lot of room for activities.
Yes, there are room for activities. You want to do a bunk bed and cause some ruckus, you can do what you want in your house.
Let's look at this primary ensuite. Well, this ensuite is, it's opulent. That's what kind of comes to mind. Very presidential, right? Even from the details on the walls to the details on the choice of tile for everything. It's very nice.
Options are key. So even in some luxury homes, you'll have the option of like the walk-in shower, but maybe not a soaking tub. So having both is key. You never know whose schedule is crazy. You have one person in here, but someone still needs to get in. So the double vanities are key. And again, you can decide what taste you want. Like some people will love the wallpaper, some people not as much, but it's like, okay, well, how would you change this? That's the main thing that I like to tell potential buyers when they come to see this. How would you put a spin on this? And some people are like, I would just leave it as is, and I'm good with that too.
And some people would just be so excited to just go to town or something like that.
They're like, I already know what I would do, get my GC in here and all that. They get their staging company or whoever's gonna do their design.
All right, tell me a little bit more about this specific half bath.
So one, I feel like every home needs a half bath, if not one, two. And just from a practical reason. if you have kids,
Yeah.
you may not want your guests to go to your kids' bathroom, regardless of their age. Another way to really kind of show off your home, because the wallpaper is different in here, but it's still just as beautiful. And you have things, again, that have like a little bit of a traditional vibe, but are still like beautiful to this day that people see the value in.
And the position of it too, being like literally the first thing, if somebody's getting to your house after a long drive, let's say they're coming from Savannah or something, they're good to go.
Absolutely.
As soon as they walk into
and
your
then
house.
if they're acting up, you can say, hey, you can use the restroom, and then you can just show them the door right afterwards. So.
Get out. I love it.
So this is the loft space here. Certain homes have their living room, if you will, on the first level.
Yeah.
But you may want to have things not easily available for potential guests, or if you want the kids to have their friends, games, whatever set up here.
Yeah.
It just depends how you want to have the setup of your house. But the main thing is there's extra space for you to use.
Yeah.
And if I have not already mentioned it, the home, in regards to what's air conditioned, is a little over 4,400 square feet. So there's definitely space in this home.
Yeah.
So this is about the same size. It feels bigger, but it probably is the same size as the primary. So
yeah, it is.
Also with a very large but different walk-in closet there.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is way more than I deserved when I was a kid. This is enormous.
Would you and a sibling still be fighting if you were in even the separate beds?
Absolutely not. We would have our own forts, so we'd be separated. There'd be a truce every day. Incredible.
A treaty you would write up in crayons.
Yeah, well, we've talked to NATO, and no, this is I love this room. From the color choices to the way that they've done the bathrooms, everything is simple, but it to the point, and it's great. A beautiful blank canvas for somebody to come in and do something different if they want, or if they enjoy this setup and this type of airiness and space, they can keep it the way it is.
And you see how not only for a blank canvas, but how the owners have maintained the home. Like we see homes a lot where a lot of buyers are like anti-carpet.
Yeah.
However, if you get carpet that is maintained and is cleaned regularly, I mean,
this
should be fine. Now, I know different things happen with pets and whatnot, but some people prefer carpet. I mean, there's still a select few. So we just want to make sure people know they have, again, options, but what's available could be in the condition they already wanted to be.
100%. I mean, if you didn't tell me that this wasn't like the original carpet, I'd be like, oh, they changed the carpet. This is brand new. Yeah. That's how well maintained it is. It's crazy. Okay, so this is one of the en-suites for the 2 rooms upstairs. I mean, so regal. I love it. The tub setup with the legs, the contrast between the choices of a little bit of a heavier blue with the wainscoting throughout. It's great. Is this something that the owners did originally, and they decided to do it like this, or did they add this to it afterwards?
So the builder was Sam Sadler III, and this was something that they designed and wanted. And basically, when the home was built and they had certificate of occupancy, this is what they wanted. There may have been some slight changes here and there, maybe in regards to like the basket, but in regards to like the tile, the vanity and sink, and definitely the tub, that is something that was huge for them, because they weren't always empty nesters. So
gotcha.
But,
this reminds me of like a cabin, northern cabin. You just come here to write a book if you're a writer, and you just come here to kind of seclude yourself from the rest of the world. It has a very cozy vibe to it. Again, a lot of space, but they've managed to really use it well with all the choices they've done with the.
I definitely can see. Like for me, this reminds me of, I have a great relationship with my grandmother, but like a grandparent who's, spending time with their grandkids up here, whether it's, reading bedtime stories, but it has like kind of that beautiful innocence, I think is the best way to put it.
100%. Great memories can be created in this room. Okay, let's go check out the garage, because I'm really excited.
To see that garage.
Yes. Okay, so walking into this garage, this separated garage, I can see that you have 3 regular doors. So you have 2 really tall doors as well. How tall are these ceilings?
So you have 15-foot ceilings here.
Wow.
And the 2 manual doors are 14 feet. in regards to height. So if anyone wants to store their RV, or let's say they have, and that's the other thing that some garages don't allow, let's say some trucks or certain vehicles are just have a kind of a high clearance, but you don't want to just leave them out in the elements.
You could store them.
It can be toys like this with the boat. You never know the boat size. And then also if you wanted to create, you know, a lift where you can hold 8 to 10 cars, if you're a car enthusiast, the ceiling height, again, the space gives you an opportunity to do with the property as you want. If the main house does not have enough storage for you or your family, if you wanted to create a second level where you would have the storage where there's stairs, you know, that's again stuff you would need to get a GC and a permit probably for. But, you know, I don't see there being a reason for that not to happen.
The options are there. Again, it's the same theme that we're seeing from the house. This kind of blank canvas where somebody can come in and start doing what it is that they want to do with this property. Like you said, if they want to have that second level, they can. If they want to just be able to store more stuff here, they can. It's incredible. I love it.
And then from the exterior, it's not an eyesore either. Like sometimes a detached garage or sometimes detached carport, it's kind of like, in a bad way. So the facade of the garage as well, like I've even had a potential customer call, they thought this was another home. So they were unsure if it was the same parcel. And I explained like, no, this is the garage. And you know, it's 2,100 square feet. Again, with putting an RV in here, you do have a spot to charge it. So you could have a backup generator nearby. This could be a great workshop for people who like to do different things with wood, whatever the case is. I mean, it's really in a positive way, whatever the owner is looking to do with this type of space. So, and depending on your situation, if you need to get away from the family for a little bit, this can be your spot where sometimes the garage, even if there's, you know, the concrete wall on one side, people can hear what's going on. And not to mention people that are so into fitness. Imagine creating a super gym in here.
Oh my God. I mean, Joe Rogan would have a field day out here. Are you kidding me? This is crazy. All right, so 10 plus acres of space in this entire parcel. There's a lot of pavers pretty much everywhere. What are some of the things that you could do, especially after we talked about the zoning flexibility in this property? What are things that somebody could do in this entire space?
You know, people are into their not only golf carts, but maybe go-karts. You want to turn this into dirt mounds and do your little motocross.
Oh, I can see it.
I mean, there's no HOA, right? So, I mean, there's beautiful, lush landscape now, but maybe the person who wants this doesn't want that. So
if they're a next game's nut, they can just, they can
I'm thinking of the movie Richie Rich where he had the roller coaster in the background. I mean, that's a lot. I mean, you may need to get this parcel here too to do
100%.
that. But definitely you just have an opportunity to do things that you want and not feel like things are just piling on top of each other. The primary home here has, and which makes it a unique property, it's 3 bedrooms, but as you saw, there are 3 very large bedrooms. So maybe you have an extensive family. Because of the research done on this property and the county, you can have a little over 3,000 square feet of a ADU, so accessory dwelling unit. That can be separate. So, or let's say you need somewhat of a handler if you're not going to be here full time and you are going to have farm animals here, or whether it's horses, whatever, and you want to make sure there's a separate space from your actual residence, you can build that. And that doesn't exclude the additional square footage to build just a storage unit. So the ADU would have everything, not only from the plumbing and AC, but also, you know, a kitchen if you wanted to put that, or a kitchenette. It just, again, depends on how big you want to go, because, you know, a lot of the homes, just if even new construction, if we go to that side where they're building in Mineola, you know, a lot of homes are a little under or a little over 3,000 square feet. So add that on top of the 4,400 you already have here, again, just would continue to add more value to this property.
I mean, in terms of the stuff that you can do with this property, it's so expansive. You could have a garden, you could have vegetables, you could grow whatever it is. You could hide bodies. I don't know. You can do a lot of,
I don't know about hiding bodies. Hey, if anyone's watching this guy said that and not me, all right?
Bodies of water.
Bodies of water? Okay, gotcha.
But no, there's so much that you can do with this property. Let's talk about the price, because I'm sure everybody wants to know about the price. I think, me personally, I think it's a steal. So
I would
where are we priced at?
So we're asking 1.8.
Okay.
We currently have multiple offers, and right now it's just about getting not only the right price and terms, but getting the right buyer. Now it's really going through the process of doing things like this, presenting and showcasing the home well. Not just showcasing the agent's personality, but making sure to touch on the key points and things that are important. For example, we're in Central Florida, we get hurricanes.
Yeah.
You remember the two that we had late in 2022 that came through. So this home, because of how well built it is, it just looked like a rainstorm came through. You would have never ever guessed we had 2 hurricanes in this particular area.
Yeah.
In other areas, even nearby, there was flooding, right?
Yep.
And a lot of that has to do with the home was built up. You have 8-inch concrete block, and it was filled with concrete, and it's not just the first level, but it's on the second story also.
Right, which you don't really see that often, because typically second levels will be built up with wood
frame. It'll be cheaper, and we get that, but the things of value will always trade in any market, unless it's a zombie apocalypse. Then we may not sell houses. We will have other things to focus on.
It'll be a different story, but at least for now, we have an incredible listing for you guys to go check out. If you have any questions at all, if you want a private showing, feel free to reach out. I am Edelio Sanchez.
And I'm Mark Shamlin.
Till next time.